Before we dive into this story, take 1 second and support the channel. Hit like if you enjoy deep stories about power, money, and the hidden side of sports. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss what mainstream media won't show you. And comment below while you watch. Is the NFL ready for a player like Shedeur Sanders? In Cleveland, they're talking about fines. $15,000 for the wrong shoes. A warning disguised as discipline. A reminder that in the NFL, rookies are expected to fall in line before they ever get a chance to speak. But while that conversation was happening behind closed doors in America, something very different was unfolding across the Atlantic. In London, the red carpet wasn't just rolled out for Shedeur Sanders, it was laid down with intention. From the owner's box at Chelsea Football Club, Shedeur sent a message to the entire league without saying a single word. He wasn't surrounded by coaches or agents. He was sitting with Todd Boehly, one of the most powerful owners in global sports, the man who owns Chelsea FC, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the billionaire who authorized a $700 million deal for Shohei Ohtani. That contrast alone tells you everything you need to know about where this story is headed. According to people close to the situation, Boehly didn't talk to Shedeur like a fan. He talked to him like an equal. The message was simple but dangerous for the league. Real owners don't manage talent, they invest in it. Never let a billionaire make you feel like an employee. That single idea is what separates this moment from every other pre-draft storyline we've ever seen. While some franchises still think in terms of control and compliance, Shedeur Sanders is already operating in a different universe, one where access, influence, and leverage matter more than rookie contracts. This trip to London wasn't about sightseeing. It wasn't about soccer. It was about education. While most young athletes spend their off-season chasing rest or routine, Shedeur was studying power up close. He was watching how global sports empires operate, how ownership thinks, and how influence is protected across continents. Chelsea didn't open its tunnels for a photo opportunity. They did it because Shedeur represents something European clubs desperately want but can't manufacture on their own: authentic connection to American youth culture. In a world where attention is currency, Shedeur brings an audience that can't be bought with advertisements. When he held up that custom Chelsea jersey, it wasn't merchandise. It was symbolism. A signal that sports is no longer confined by borders or leagues. It was the quiet birth of a new kind of empire, one that blends football, fashion, media, and culture into a single brand. And long before he ever touched down in London, that brand was already expanding in Paris. While analysts argued about arm strength and draft stock, Shedeur and his brother Shiloh were finalizing a fashion deal reportedly worth 9 figures with luxury brand Amiri. That number alone flips the entire draft process upside down. Most prospects enter the league hoping the NFL will save them financially. Shedeur is entering with financial independence that removes fear from every decision he makes. Money creates patience. Patience creates power. And power is exactly what makes traditional front offices uncomfortable. You can't intimidate a player who doesn't need your contract to survive. You can't control someone who already owns his future. This is why whispers around the league have grown louder. Executives are privately revisiting a move they hoped would never resurface: the Eli Manning scenario. The idea that a quarterback could refuse a bad situation and wait for the right partner instead of accepting whatever franchise holds his draft rights. In the past, that move required risk and sacrifice. For Shedeur Sanders, it requires neither. He has the brand, the money, and the global relevance to wait. Deion Sanders understood this system long before his sons ever entered it. He lived through the media pressure, the ownership politics, and the way narratives are weaponized against players who refuse to shrink themselves. What you're seeing now isn't rebellion, it's preparation being executed in real time. The Sanders family isn't looking for a team, they're looking for alignment. They're not asking who wants Shedeur. They're asking who deserves him. Of course, when systems feel threatened, narratives appear. Suddenly the conversation shifts. Is he distracted? Is he too flashy? Is he focused on football? These questions are rarely asked of players who quietly follow orders. Yet every time doubt is manufactured around Shedeur, his engagement numbers rise. His visibility grows. His influence expands. The criticism feeds the brand instead of damaging it. That's the irony the league hasn't fully grasped yet. What makes this moment even bigger than football is the cultural weight Shedeur carries. As he walks through stadiums in London and fashion houses in Paris, he represents a version of black excellence that refuses to be boxed in. Not just athlete but architect. Not just labor but ownership mentality. He's showing a generation that you don't have to choose between performance and personality, between business and sport. You can be all of it at once if you understand the game beyond the field. Critics love to say that success off the field is a distraction, but the truth is the opposite. Exposure to global pressure sharpens focus. Learning how billion-dollar organizations operate makes Sunday night pressure feel small. Shedeur isn't avoiding football. He's preparing for it by immersing himself in environments where excellence is expected and failure is expensive. That mindset doesn't disappear when the cleats go on. When he eventually walks into an NFL locker room, he won't arrive as a wide-eyed rookie begging for approval. He'll arrive as someone who understands hierarchy, respect, and leadership at a level most players don't reach until their careers are almost over. That changes dynamics immediately. It challenges veterans. It unsettles coaches. And it forces organizations to confront a future where players are no longer just participants, but partners. This is why the NFL's long-running dream of global expansion feels incomplete without someone like Shedeur. The league wants Europe, but it wants it on its own terms. Controlled. Sanitized. Shedeur represents something more organic. A bridge between American football culture and global sports influence that doesn't require permission. And that's why his presence in London mattered more than any preseason game ever could. As draft day approaches, the noise will only get louder. Mock drafts will shift. Rumors will spread. Analysts will debate value and fit. But beneath all of that is a simple truth. Shedeur Sanders has already won leverage most players never touch. Whether he goes first, fifth, or later doesn't change the foundation he's built. He isn't chasing security. He already has it. He's chasing legacy. This moment isn't hype. It's history forming in real time. The old rules of being a professional athlete are fading. You no longer stay in your lane and hope someone notices. You build your own highway and decide who gets access. Shedeur Sanders isn't confined by a 100-yard field. He's turning the world into his stadium. So now the question isn't whether he can play. The question is which franchise is brave enough to understand what he represents. Who is willing to invest instead of control? Who is ready to partner instead of manage? Because the biggest plays aren't always made on Sundays. Sometimes they happen in boardrooms in London or on runways in Paris. And if this is what Shedeur Sanders is doing before he ever takes an NFL snap, imagine what happens when the lights come on and the games start to matter. If you believe the athlete CEO era has officially arrived, smash the like button. Subscribe for more stories the mainstream won't tell you. And comment below which team you think is bold enough to ride with Shedeur Sanders instead of trying to cage him. Because the game has changed and the future is already here.